Welcome to From the Couch with your host, CoRy Wyszynski. This week's guest, Sarah Ramey. No, don't go back to sleep, CoRy. It's time to do the show.
Hello, thank you to the disembodied voice of Arlo Sanders. Hello, I'm your host, CoRy Wyszynski, and would have really appreciated to know when the camera was on. Thanks, guys. There's no one else here. But there is a lot of people that help out to do this show, and to everyone that has helped me out and everyone that has just checked out the show, enjoys it, and comments and everything like that. Thank you. Really, thank you so much, because this show is it's a labor of love, but I enjoy it and I hope you do too. You can like and subscribe. That little guy might come up here and there if you enjoy what's happening. And this is also my yoga bolster. Why am I showing it? I don't know. Didn't plan to do it, but it happened. Why not? Why not see everything? We got my blanket. I also have a weighted blanket. And there are some things that I want to address. Let's get serious for a second. This is a mature rated show. Viewer discretion is advised, and that's why I have the mature content card at the beginning of the show. Do we really just run the mature content card again? Okay, great, cool. There are some continuity issues this episode, mainly my beard and mustache. And I know there is a big blank space on that wall, which I love that Geek Filter down below in the comments said Wyszynski, and Arlo Sanders is looking forward to seeing what's up next on the wall. Maybe this episode, maybe not, depending on how I'm feeling. Probably not. Energy levels have been very low. But I wanted to take it down a little, talk seriousness for a bit. Telemedicine has been a really big help for a lot of people during the pandemic, especially someone like me who is homebound or couch-bound. And I'm so grateful to have that, and that it's a lot stronger now, and there's a little more demand for telemedicine, which is awesome. There are some doctors that should not have a medical license. This is what I'm talking about. Roll it! Oh my god. Stop, cut, stop.
Hi, CoRy. This is Dr. R, just calling to remind you of our appointment. See you soon.
CoRy?
Oh, hello, Dr. Expedrian Roslin? I might not have that right.
That's right. It's whatever it needs to be for you in the moment, CoRy.
Dr. R.
That works. That's very effective. CoRy, I want to solve this problem today here on this call. I don't know if anyone's tried to do that for you, but that's what we're going to do here today.
I love that. No, the doctors have been a lot of like, everything looks good. We're not sure what's happening. And as you know, last week was a year since I was hospitalized.
I did read your chart, yes, but congratulations, you got out of that hospital, CoRy, and you are in it. You're fighting. You aren't going to let this drown you. You are here for it, and we are going to beat this.
Wow, I don't know if I have the energy for you're very like on it, but I'm do my best. My brain fog is a little terrible today, just to be honest with you, Dr. R.
Thank you for the honesty. That's all part of this, and I have enough energy and determination for both of us, CoRy.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna prop you up here, buddy. Listen, Let's just get in the water together.
Okay.
Tell me what you think works for you.
What works for me is taking things in stride, slow pace, because even through therapeutic kind of like recommendations, if I overdo it, I make myself worse. So I'm still learning where my limits are. Yeah.
Wow, that wasn't what I expected, CoRy. I really expected to solve this here today, but it seems like that pace just isn't going to work for you. And I respect that because I'm here for
Okay.
you, CoRy. And I'm
My
gonna
dad's my caretaker, so he's just saying he's going upstairs.
That's great. He
Yeah.
needs some space to himself sometimes, just like you need your space sometimes, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I live on the couch.
Couches can be comfortable.
Yes. I actually just got a new body pillow sheet.
Branching out
Yes.
into new. That's great. That's a small step in the right direction here. We're going to chart a course, CoRy. We're going to chart a course together, and I'm not letting you out of my sights.
Okay.
So if we could just constantly be on a video call together, CoRy, I think this is the best way for me to solve this for you, is if I'm just with you always, observing everything you do in every moment. And then, you know, I may not solve it today, CoRy, but I'm going to solve it on this call, because this call could go on
never ends. But luckily with Zoom, I don't know if you're aware, there's 40-minute time limits.
I have a paid Zoom account. I am ready for this. You'll have to attend a dinner party with me tonight. Should be fun. Some games, some party games. You can participate. I have a soccer game tomorrow morning. My little girl Anna plays soccer. You're gonna love it. She's a forward.
I did youth soccer with AYSO for a couple of years.
See, CoRy, this is going to work out perfectly. I can't wait to spend every moment with you. Please don't turn it off when you're sleeping. I'll be observing your sleep as well. And,
so like a sleep study.
It's an everything study, CoRy.
Okay.
Always.
What time is kickoff tomorrow?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay, I'm usually up by then, so that's okay.
Great, and I'll just take my computer with me, and you'll be in it when you wake up. You wake up.
Okay.
You live your life, and I'll just be here with you always.
Okay. And is there a dress code for tonight's gala event?
Yes, it's smart casual.
Smart casual. What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, apologies, doctor.
I don't want you to censor yourself throughout this process. I think for you, CoRy, you could just, you know, throw on a cardigan and it would be terrific.
But I'd have to order one.
Oh, I'll send one your way. Okay.
I've always wanted to wear a cardigan, so this will be fun. I'm not eating dairy right now, according to my dietitian's recommendation. So for food, yeah, just let them know that I can't have dairy.
There'll be something there for you. It will be a selection of crudité, and it will be fine. I'll have something couriered to you along with the cardigan.
Oh, okay, well.
Now I'm just gonna head. I have actually a manicure appointment, so let's go. Okay. I think it should be terrific. You can help me pick the color, and in the meantime, you just do whatever you do in your day, CoRy. You just go about your business. It's gonna be great.
Okay, sounds good. Let's go. Here we go. Oh no, doctor, I think my phone is dying since I didn't charge it last night.
Oh, all right. Well, you charge that phone, you plug it in, and you just log right back into this link, and we'll just keep going.
Okay. I think we should go with a jade green to match your mask.
Terrific. If you're not back in time for color selection, I'll put that in. All right. Oh, hi, Dave. Dave.
She got,
Forgot my keys.
My guest is Sarah Ramey. She is the author of The Lady's Handbook to Her Mysterious Illness, a memoir. Very excited to have had the chance to talk with her. She also does music. She is known as Wolf Larson, so check that out. Link is in the description below. And I just pull that up. Let's see, did I have enough energy to pull up a description? Maybe. We'll see what happens. If not, then that just looks really great. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here. And even before we get started, I want to thank you for this, because not only is it so well written, and I'm a writer myself, so I kind of can look at things creatively, but there is a genre blending. It is almost a part of a thriller. It is a medical, not periodical, episodic, rampant discussion. Also a what to do, what not to do, that I think all medical students should have slides from this book, because a lot of people don't realize this. And there were so many moments where I just said, oh, that's me. And I just want to see how that has been felt in the Woe Me community, and for people that are just watching and may not know who Sarah Ramey is. What has it been like, and what is the Woe Me?
Right. Well, thank you, and thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here in our situation. This is my first bed interview, which I felt comfortable. I always do I have my little interview space, which is actually very uncomfortable and exhausting for me to like sit up that way. And I don't know why I do that. I should just do this, but I felt much more comfortable doing this with you today, to just sit in my bed and do it this way. So
I'm all for that. I'm
No,
I'm on my bed as well, because I sleep on the couch. So there you go.
There you go. There you go. Right. So I wrote a book, and it's called The Lady's Handbook for Mysterious Illness. But that's a parody title of, like an Emily Post type Victorian, handbook for, a book that's really about disease and despair and poop and like all of these difficult things. And it's not a ladies' book. I'm excited to talk to you about it, because it really is. It's like the ladies and gentlemen's guide to, and whomever's guide to their quote mystery illness, which are, traditionally chronic fatigue syndrome, or ME/CFS, fibromyalgia, ehlers-danlos, mold illness, Lyme. There's this family of illnesses that you, I'm sure, are very well acquainted with, that have a lot of symptoms in common, and that have a very similar experience of the medical system, which is being very sick yourself, but being told over and over and over again, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not, which is so awful. I mean, it's terrible to be sick, but to be told that you are not sick, it's like, I always say, it really is like having your house burned down and having the firemen be like, that's not. And you're like, no.
That's a great analogy. That's exactly what it's like.
And they're like, well, I don't believe you. And it's like, no, I can show you the house. It's not there. It burned down. And it's scary. It's upsetting, and it's demoralizing, and it's just adding so much more insult to injury, where that's totally unnecessary. And so the book is really, it's for us, so a WOMI is a woman with a mysterious illness. It's a bad acronym, but there's also MOMIs, and mysterious illness, or a person, mysterious illness, opponent, whatever you want to call it. It's just a bad moniker for a group that doesn't have like an umbrella term, but should have an umbrella term because it's clearly a family of interrelated syndromes and phenomena. And so I just call this WOMIs because it just makes it easier to have a name. You know, there's lots of different types of cancer, but we just call it cancer. And then you have your type of cancer. I feel pretty certain that in the future, there will be a name for these sort of neuroendocrine immune problems that like, that's the type of problem you have. And then your specific permutation of having dysautonomia or POTS or pain or whatever, the different versions of it, that will be the special name that you have, like Hodgkin's lymphoma, like that's your type of cancer, right? Versus having breast cancer, ovarian cancer. To me, that I think that will be the future of these types of WOMI problems, is that they'll have an umbrella term and then the different limitations. And so the book is really just an exploration of like making what it's like to be a patient with one of these illnesses visible to not just us, to our community, but like you said, to doctors, to medical students, to nurses, because I've spoken to so many doctors who read the book and they're like, I feel really bad because I've definitely treated patients the way that you're describing, but in my mind, I was not the villain. I was not doing anything wrong. I was literally doing what I am sort of programmed to do, which is recognize like, oh, I know what this is. This is just a person who's over anxious about their health. And what they need is my help to kind of get them off of that, you know, repeating mental pattern in their head. And I'll get them on a medication that helps them with their mental health issues. To them, that's like the correct diagnosis. They're helping you get on track with your over anxiety about your health. But that they're of course completely wrong about that. That is incorrect. But they don't understand that, and part of that is because so frequently when a doctor does that, it says to me like, oh, I think you're depressed. I usually, because of the power imbalance, I usually don't fly off the handle and say, fuck you, dude. I'm sorry, I don't know if we should.
No, we fucks can fly.
Okay.
You're okay. I put a mature content card, so we're all good.
Okay, good. But because you're in this power imbalance, it's very difficult to like push back with a doctor because you really may need them in the future. So you don't want to seem unhinged or angry or anything. And so they'll tell you the absolute wrong thing, which is, I think this is anxiety. And instead of saying, you're absolutely wrong and fuck you for saying that to me, which is, I think, the right response, you just say, okay, and you feel so deflated and you just like walk out or crawl out or whatever it is. And they never, the feedback loop is interrupted because they never hear from you that that's the wrong diagnosis or it's the wrong way to be treating this type of patient. And so I have spoken to quite a lot of doctors who have read the book and they're like, this was like holding up a mirror to me and not expecting that I was going to see myself. Like I really thought it was about like educating myself about something, but I didn't feel like I was going to be so implicated, but I was. But it's okay. Like I'm going to change because I don't want to do that. I'm trying to help. It's like,
right.
And that's been, I think, kind of the best outcome is beyond having patients read it. It's really to have doctors read it and to recognize, I think, a scenario that they find themselves in very frequently, but just sort of shifting their perspective around like what they're doing and showing them why it's so harmful, but still trying to be compassionate about like, I get it. It's not malice. It's not trying to like ruin this person's life in front of you. I get it. You're not trying to do that, but you are. And so it's very important to shift just from, I don't believe you, get out of my office, to I do believe you. I don't know how to help you, but I am so sorry that this is happening to you. For so many of us, just that shift, which doesn't take more time or money or anything, it would alleviate so much of the psychological stress of being in a system that's treating you like you're a liar when you're not. when you're acting just as any patient would act with any illness, and
Right.
being treated like you're a liar and a thief and a hypochondriac and a malingerer, when in fact you're just sick, is totally unnecessary. And so that's really the aim of the book, is to try to get through to doctors actually, and to try to get them to start to shift their behavior.
I hope one day that like in a medical journal, where I would not be surprised to see, and I hope to see, that your book is referenced, because also too, it is like you really did your research, and I would love to know how, like, the balance, because you talk a lot about stressors, and you talk a lot about almost coming undone before you can rise. Mm-hmm. And how was that balance difficult when you were writing this book? And in a way, like, was the book causing the pain that you were talking about?
Yes. So this is something I don't often talk about, but my relationship to the writing of this book was very fraught. I felt compelled to do it, not for other people, but for myself, to do this thing that I felt equipped to do, like pre-illness. My conception of myself is like, I am the right person to take this on. I can do it. I can write the story, my story, other people's stories, do all the research, blah, blah, blah. But throughout the writing of it, I was so sick and in so much pain. And so trying to take on this huge project, because it was, as you say, it wasn't just like a memoir, and it wasn't just this like short thing. It really was like an over-ambitious project in the scope of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and it encompassed all those layers.
Yeah, it really went, but that was like, to me, the only way I was like, well, I can't do it. I tried, actually. I wrote several versions of the book. I wrote just a plain memoir version. I wrote just a reported, like, pop science type of version. And all of that, I was just like, this doesn't work. It really, I think, needs to be all of those things woven together. But doing that was really hard. And I was just so sick, and like kind of doing what I would recommend anyone not do, which is to try to like push through to override my illness for my work. And I really made myself a lot sicker in the process at various times. And I feel like post-book, I have a much healthier relationship to creativity and to writing and to things like that, where I just made this agreement with myself, which is like, I'm never going to do that again, even if it means that I don't produce anything, or that it takes me an incredibly long time to do it. I'm just like, that's okay. That's much better than harming yourself for a book, for an album, for whatever.
Right.
So, but it's a balance. It's like, I don't think I struck that balance. But since then, I feel like I'm doing a much better job of like, because I'm still writing and I'm still doing music, but I am not like punishing myself in order to get it done. And I think part of that is like, if I'm going to take something on, I'm like really clear in my head, don't take on too much, because you can't, you don't have the physical capacity to do that. And so you just have to, when these like big, like, oh my God, I can do this, no, you just have to shut it all down and be content to sort of work on smaller things. That's been my way of redoing my relationships to being creative, which it is important to not give that up, because that's an important part of who I am. But as you say, it really is a balance.
I would love to talk a little more. We are almost out of time, but I do want to talk and hear what's up, what's next for Wolf Larson. Is there something that you're working on? Wolf Larson is the kind of like the alter ego, but you're a creative musician, guitar player, singer, songwriter. And is there another album on the way? Are you doing shows through Zoom?
Yeah, I don't do shows on Zoom. I admire people who do that. I don't have any technical capacity beyond what we're doing right now. And I feel like the sound does not translate very well when you just play and sing into your computer mic. So I don't do that. I would like to learn how to do that, but that's down the road. But I am working on, I only have one album. So as I said, my music name is Wolf Larson. It's my grandfather's name. And I have an album that I recorded and released with a friend of mine who I had been trying to record, but I can't. Normally you go into a studio for 2 weeks for 14-hour days and you just like bang it out. But that's like, you can't even go into a studio for like an hour. And
right.
So I was like, and I kept trying. I would like go, I booked time in a studio and I kept just having to leave. And they're like, well, what are you doing? I was like, never mind, because they didn't understand what was wrong with me and I couldn't explain it. This is a long time ago. And so I found a friend who is a sound engineer and he was willing to come to my apartment, set up my microphones on my bed and just do it like half an hour by half an hour by half an hour over the course of about a year and a half. And that's how I recorded my first record. And it took a very long time. It was very similar to writing the book. It just was in little teeny increments over a way longer period of time.
Right.
And so it's been 10 years since then. So I've got plenty of songs. It's so hard to record them because of that situation. But I just talked to that same engineer and I think we're gonna do it because now I'm done with book stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm either going to go to San Francisco, he's in San Francisco, or he's going to come to Arizona, and we're just going to do that because he works remotely, so he can be wherever. And we're just going to do it in these really small chunks. And, God bless my friend next to me. He's a wonderful person, and he's helping me. And I think that we'll be able to do it. It might take a while, but we're going to try. So I'm excited about that. I'm also excited to do book related,
right? Because kind of like also to a memoir is almost like a memory. It's a way to let that part go and take what you've learned from it and let that be the strength and the inner light, and not the, well, hopefully this works or this is proven to work. No. That's not in our life.
That's not part of our life. And no, exactly. And I'm like ready to not revisit, I don't know, my own life like over and over and over again, which is part of talking about the book, which is fine. But I'm kind of ready for that to be put on pause for a little while and just kind of keep my head down and work on stuff privately, I think it means.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Where can people find you? Is Wolf Larson is the album on Spotify?
Yeah, it's everywhere. You just type in Wolf Larson and then I've got two websites. There's Wolf Larson Music is for music related stuff. And then my full name, Sarah Marie Ramey, is my book website, so you can go to either of those. They link back to each other. You can find all the stuff there.
Awesome. The book, once again, this is when I would have like a graphic for it, but I actually have it. So, is The Lady's Handbook for Her Mysterious Illness, a memoir. And Sarah, thank you so much for being here, and best of luck on the next steps after the book and into your next creative endeavors.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. This is such a pleasure.
Awesome. Oh, you snuck up on me. This is take 10. Don't need that yoga bolster anymore. Alright, here we are. Another episode is done. Yes, go me. Thank you so much to Sarah Ramey for being my special guest this week. You can check out all the stuff that Sarah's up to down below in the description. While you're there, like and subscribe the video if you happen to like what I'm doing. And special thanks to Kelly Lohman for being a not creepy, completely 100% normal type of doctor. Alex and Arlo for doing the music, Leanna for doing the digital overlay set, nighttime version, ants. And of course, Arlo is also the disembodied announcer voice. So that's about it. After 10 takes, an ant scare, and forgetting to turn on record, this guy's ready for a nap. Bye.
Dr. R hopes you sleep well. Are you sleeping, CoRy? Get some good rest. Sleep well, CoRy. It's important.